I'm Chris Lawrence with your headlines from North Texas. A man accused of beheading a motel manager in Dallas made his first appearance in court, and Yordanis Cobos-Martinez is charged with capital murder. The guards brought him into the hearing wearing handcuffs and shackles, and prosecutors announced they may not seek the death penalty, but will make a formal decision in January. Police say Cobos-Martinez got into an argument with his boss, Chandra Nagamalahia, chased him through the parking lot and hacked at him with a machete, ultimately beheading the husband and father. Cobos-Martinez is a Cuban national, and his attorney says he needs time to travel to Cuba and do research on his client to present a better defense. A man is now charged with manslaughter in Tarrant County after a deadly train crash killed a 5-year-old boy. It happened at a crossing in Haltom City, and authorities tell us the driver and child are related. Police say he went around an activated train barricade across the tracks and was hit by the train. The child was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver was rushed to a hospital with minor injuries and then bulked into the Fort Worth jail. A statewide alert is putting some horse owners on edge. As Richard Solomon reports, a contagious strain of equine virus is forcing riders, ranches, and rodeos to shut down.
Just off Garden Lane in Fort Worth,
hey, Mama,
is Jared Howard's oasis. The dirt and hay and the horses he spends his days with.
I got a thing for it.
Now, he's usually booked with trail rides, rodeos, and competitions, but lately, things here at 2R Equine have come to a standstill.
It put me on high alert, you know? It put me on high alert. It's kind of like when COVID happened.
It's called equine herpesvirus type 1. The Texas Department of Agriculture issued a statewide alert about the outbreak.
We're on hard lockdown, so there's no horses out, no horses in.
The outbreak surfaced after veterinarians reported cases linked to the World Championship barrel racing finals in Waco. Officials say the virus can be transmitted through nose-to-nose contact, or when an infected animal coughs or sneezes, even grooming tools and other equipment. Now, this virus isn't only pausing things here at 2R Equine, but it's also causing issues 20 minutes up the road.
This is a virus that's very aggressive. It's a lot of times it's fatal.
The virus even halting things at Cowtown Coliseum, just ahead of the Stockyards Championship Rodeo. The venue announced it won't include horses for the event, just bull riding, saying in a statement part, "We are taking proactive steps to protect our equine partners."
I'm encouraging everybody to keep your horses at home. Don't leave the stable, at least for 2 weeks.
Commissioner Sid Miller urges owners to monitor your horse's symptoms daily.
The minute you see an elevated temperature, you need to start a treatment program.
Miller says there is a vaccine, yes, but they don't know how effective it is against this strand of the virus. But for this cowboy,
More so a matter of when it passes.
He's committed to keeping his horses safe.
However long it takes is just however long it takes, but I am not taking the risk. You know, I have too many horses here.
In Fort Worth, I'm Richard Solomon.
It has been a little over a week since an SMU professor was reported missing in Georgia. Charles Hush was out hiking the Appalachian Trail, and search teams continue combing the area where he was last seen. Luke Clary shows us how Hush's colleagues in North Texas are helping his students now.
Is that state or federal?
Even through a screen.
All right. Good.
Students say Charles Hush showed up for them, the kind of professor who makes you feel seen.
He really cared about us, our backgrounds, and why we were here and what we were trying to get out of the class.
That's above and beyond, you know, a good teacher. That's a great professor and just a great person.
Which is why his absence today at SMU Dedman School of Law, the last class before semester exams, landed so hard.
Feeling like there's nothing we can do at this point to help his family, and we want to just be there to support.
He went hiking on the Appalachian Trail in his home state of Georgia on November 11th and vanished somewhere on the way down from Blood Mountain. Search and rescue teams have covered the rugged terrain, and more than a week later, he's still missing.
It's indescribable.
His law partner, Kate Morris, just got back to Dallas after helping in the search. She passed out Hush's notes and walked his students through the exam material.
We had thought we were going to deliver his traditional benediction, which is words of wisdom, but we talked about it and there's just no replacing him.
She says if he could have been there today, he would have said something like this.
Doing work that means something. That's what success is. It's how you can serve and what you can give and the mark that you can leave on the world. And that's what he tries to bring to his students. I mean, frankly, he gives that benediction every day of his life because that's how he lives.
Those who admire Charles Hush are leaning on the wisdom he left them as the search goes on. In Dallas, I'm Luke Clary.
Now to some amazing video just north of Fort Worth. Officers pulled off a heroic rescue, pulling the driver from a burning car.
Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else?
Wow, it happened last month in Blue Mountain. You see one officer break the rear window and pull him out, and as the vehicle is engulfed in flames, both officers will be commended for their heroic actions at Blue Mountain's next city council meeting. The Texas Education Agency gives out grades to every public school, and one campus was on the bad end of those results not long ago. And then a new teacher showed up with a creative approach to reaching kids. Here's Sean Giggy.
Almost mandatory.
After Cedar Crest Elementary in Dallas was given a failing grade from the Texas Education Agency, one teacher took it upon himself to throw the ultimate Hail Mary.
Yes.
Second grade math teacher Jordan Caldwell didn't even work here when the school earned that F rating in 2020.
I didn't appreciate that.
But when he was hired the following year, he knew he had to be part of the solution.
Whether it was an F or an A, it's about the kids and seeing the kids grow.
But in order to see the kids grow, he needed to see the kids at all. So when you could get away with it, you didn't come to school?
Yes.
Did you like coming to school?
No.
Anytime they did show up, Mr. Caldwell noticed his students didn't have much interest in math, but they did love football, and they really wanted to play. And it just so happens he coaches a football team. So Mr. Caldwell made them an offer.
If you play on my football team, you have to have an 80 or above to stay on the football team to play.
The kids accepted, and after joining the team, their grades went nowhere.
I don't think they knew the seriousness of how serious I was about the grades until it was like, oh, well, your grade's not this, you're not playing.
Once they realized he meant business, they took care of theirs.
So my question was,
his students showed up every day, kept their grades up, and just this year, the school earned an A rating.
We're subtracting 8 from 2.
A remarkable turnaround.
Oh, most definitely.
Principal Stacy Ray.
It's like a 180. And I was like, what is the big difference? But we know what the big difference is. They have someone that cares about them.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the only man they see every day. And so I take pride in that. Say, go.
It's a responsibility he takes so seriously. He's invited kids to birthday parties, made them food, and taken them to the pool.
There you go, run it in, run it in, run it in.
The result isn't just better grades, it's brighter futures.
And I believe my education will help me succeed that dream.
All thanks to a teacher who understood that the greatest lesson is purely human.
Follow somebody good because you'll end up great.
Amazing what's possible when you learn by example.
1, 2, 3, winner!
In Dallas, I'm Sean Giggy.
Let's go, let's go.
Wow, talk about going above and beyond. Kudos, Mr. Caldwell. We need more teachers like you. And those are your headlines from North Texas.
Let's take a look at today's headlines across Houston. Hello, I'm Len Cannon. Houston ISD rolling out a secure version of ChatGPT to help teachers cut down on administrative work and spend more time with students. Michelle Choi has more.
As the largest school district in Texas, Houston ISD serves nearly 200,000 students and says artificial intelligence could help its educators get back valuable time.
This whole project is about reducing administrative overhead for our teachers. It's not changing what or how we teach. It's just giving them more time to focus on what matters most, and that's our students.
The district is partnering with OpenAI to provide staff with a private, secure version of ChatGPT. Teachers can use it to draft multiple emails, organize documents, and streamline communication with families. How do your teachers feel about this?
I think that they're really excited about it. The concern has been that our teachers want to use ChatGPT or other AI models, but they've been unable to, or they've been holding back a little bit. This opens the door because it's totally secure.
And when it comes to the question many parents are asking, will AI replace teachers?
Absolutely not. I think that human interaction that goes on between a student and a teacher will never get replaced. All we're going to do is make our teachers have better tools to support them.
Dr. Patrick Dix, an AI expert, says what HISD is doing could set a national example.
You're an educator and you're an AI expert. How do you feel about AI in classrooms? Do you feel like it will replace teachers?
It can't happen because you have to have the one-on-one learning. Artificial intelligence cannot replace critical thinking skills. It cannot replace analytical skills. It's just a tool to give you an answer to get you to the next step. That's the biggest thing I want parents to understand about artificial intelligence.
And for a district as large as HISD, he says the move could help ease pressures from the statewide teacher shortage.
Do you applaud HISD for taking this step into bringing AI into classrooms?
Absolutely. Many school districts should follow behind them, but they have to have those safeguards in place to make sure that students are using it correctly, the administration is using it correctly, and the faculty or / teachers are using it correctly. Because if we don't introduce artificial intelligence, not only to adults and kids at the moment that we're living in now, we're doing a major disservice to everybody.
In Houston, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
Houston City Council has voted to put restrictions on when you can ride an e-scooter. On Wednesday, council members unanimously moved to ban e-scooters and ATVs during certain hours. Troy Kless has the story.
You've seen them throughout downtown, but Houston City Council is putting the brakes on.
We've seen a lot of joyriding in downtown when it comes to scooters.
The citywide curfew will be between the hours of 8 p.m. and 4 a.m., limiting not just e-scooters, but other micro-mobility devices like hoverboards and electric skateboards, plus ATVs.
This proposal is a lot better than the original proposal, which was a complete ban.
Councilman Julian Ramirez, concerned with the language of the ordinance, thought of delaying the vote for 2 weeks.
What was said that changed your mind?
Well, actually, another council member came to me and said the mayor's willing to hold a committee hearing on it and consider changes.
At venues like the GRB, signs are already up limiting the use of scooters. It's a business for people like Sharif Hotak, owner of Star Ride Scooter Rental.
90% of my profit comes, after 10 p.m. And if there's nothing, I can't rent scooters after 8 p.m., there will be no profit for me.
The city says EMS responded to more than 500 emergency calls related to e-scooters in the past several years, 78% of which occurred between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. With holidays around the corner and many people likely to attend events, Houston's mayor wants to protect pedestrians.
We emphasize public safety, and this is right up near the top in terms of protecting our infrastructure, our activities, and what a great central city that has been created.
Violating the ordinance could lead to fines with enforcement beginning immediately. Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
Waymo, an autonomous rideshare company, is bringing its driverless cars to Houston. The company already operates in several other cities, including Austin, and plans to test the service with employees here before opening it to the public next year. But not everyone is sold on the idea.
I just don't trust them.
Why not?
I don't think the technology's all there right now.
Waymo says safety is paramount. We're still waiting to learn the exact launch date. The owner of a Houston construction company says he was blindsided by a wave of fake one-star reviews. Then he says scammers demanded he pay up to make those reviews go away. Show Mercedes shows us how it happened and has suggestions and solutions for other business owners dealing with the same problem.
Abraham Polachek, owner of Dunnell Construction, says he's used to seeing glowing feedback online.
In this type of business, your reputation is everything.
On Google, he says his company's always earned 5 stars, until recently when that suddenly changed.
We've never had a 4-star or 3-star or 2-star review, so getting a one-star review just out of the blue is definitely painful, and it's unnerving.
In less than 24 hours, Polachek says the company was flooded with 13 one-star reviews, all from people they've never done business with.
I'll read some of them to you. Horrible craftsmanship from start to finish.
Unprofessional and unreliable, and
Absolutely terrible experience.
does that sound like the reviews you've gotten in the last 17 years?
Absolutely not. We typically get a review once every few months, and here we got 13 in less than 24 hours. What's shocking about it was they were all one-star reviews.
So the alarm bells immediately went off.
Then came the message that confirmed Polachek's suspicions. A scammer was behind the fake reviews.
The last review we received was a one-star review, and what it said was, in our profile photo is our WhatsApp number. Please reach out to get these reviews removed.
Polachek says he reported it to Google. They investigated and took action. A few days later, the negative reviews started disappearing.
I feel relieved, vindicated. Obviously, our negative reviews are gone, and we're back to our 5-star reviews, and we can focus on what we do best, build things.
So what can you do if your business is being targeted by scammers? Well, you can file a report with Google for removal like Abraham did. All you have to do is fill out the merchant extortion form, and you can find that online.
Show Mercedes, thank you. The famous Houston Zoo lights opened to the public on Friday, but KHU 11 got a sneak peek. From new light displays and decorations to an interactive playground for kids, even the zoo's first ever pop-up bar for the old folks or adults. And right as you walk in, you'll see one of the biggest additions, the Wild Wander lights.
It's brand new technology that we have never used, and you're not going to see too much of it around here, the city of Houston. So it's really cool technology. As soon as you come in, you're going to be immersed in this light show.
Oh, the holiday lights. Catch all the fun starting at the zoo on Friday. That's a wrap of your Houston headlines. Thanks for watching. I'm Len Cannon.
Hey everyone, happy Friday to you. Meteorologist Matt Farrell here with a look at your forecast around Texas as we head into the weekend. For today, a lot of that rain that most of Texas has been seeing is going to slide into East Texas, Southeast Texas, and then most of us clear out for your Saturday. And as a matter of fact, for most of the state, Saturday is going to be a pretty nice day. I can't wait to tell you about that part of it, because if you've got outdoor plans, might want to make sure they're there on Saturday. For Sunday, our next storm system does start to move in, and as we start the week of Thanksgiving, we are talking about the potential for some more showers, thunderstorms, maybe another multi-inch rain event on the way, in addition to what we've already seen. So taking a look at the 3-day forecast again, several areas still seeing that rainfall for today. For Saturday, though, most of us clear out. You can see Corpus Christi there still holding onto a rain chance there in that area. So a couple of storms statewide may be possible on Saturday, but most of us are going to be staying dry. And then again, widespread rain moves back into the forecast for Sunday. And then if you're in the I-35 corridor or east, that's going to be more towards Sunday night and into Monday. So let's time it all out. Again, some of those showers and thunderstorms moving into East Texas today. Again, some very large rainfall totals, some flooding concerns with this system as it moved through portions of the Edwards Plateau, the hill country. We saw about 7 inches of rain there near Menard out in the hill country. So again, a lot of rain falling with this system, but again, it starts to move out, but it's still going to be with us in East Texas, Southeast Texas into the early morning hours there on your Saturday before that eventually moves out as well. Here's your look at your Saturday afternoon, your Saturday evening. Again, pretty nice day all told. I don't have a lot in the way of rain, not a lot in the way of cloud cover either. And take a look at some of these temperatures we're going to be dealing with on Saturday afternoon. Anywhere from 65 in Amarillo to 70 in Midland, 69 there in Abilene, 70 in Dallas, middle 70s there along the I-35 corridor in Central Texas and South Texas. Now, if you're in Southeast Texas or down in the Rio Grande Valley, yeah, still going to be warm, but at least we're staying dry for most of your Saturday, because we're going to need that period to dry out, because again, here comes our next major rainmaker. As early as Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, that's when we start to see a few showers potentially sneaking into parts of the Edwards Plateau, up towards the Big Country, Central Texas there as well. But really, the main push of storms comes through Sunday night as we head into the overnight hours, potentially moving into the I-35 corridor up near Dallas and Waco. And then the rest of the I-35 corridor is going to get hit with that same system as we head into your Monday, and it stays with us into East Texas there as we head to Monday night, and then eventually moves off to the east as we head into Tuesday. So potentially here, another multi-inch rain event in addition to what we've already seen. How much more could we see? Well, some of our models are picking up on another ½ inch to an inch for a large swath of Texas. Again, those areas that see continued rainfall, multiple storm chances throughout this event could see more than that. You can see our models picking up on over 2 inches of rain in some areas. So we'll keep an eye on that as we head into the beginning of your Thanksgiving week. Behind all that, things are going to cool down, and by the time we get to Thanksgiving, we're actually going to be talking about potentially some seasonable weather for parts of Texas as we head into the holiday. Here's a look at your 3-day forecast, though, region by region. For West Texas, staying cool throughout the next 3 days through the weekend. Again, couple of rain chances there on Sunday as that next system moves in, but overall 60s, 70s, a little bit of cloud cover, not going to be too bad. Central Texas, Austin, Waco, Fredericksburg, again, the 70s in the forecast through the weekend. Again, there's that Saturday. There's that chance for us to dry out a little bit. Again, you're going to see that in most of our regions across Texas. Again, comfortable weather through the weekend. That's kind of the theme here. Again, Southeast Texas, down to the Rio Grande Valley, those are the areas where we're going to hang on to some of that heat. You still see those temperatures up in the 80s and 90s over the next few days in those areas. But like I said, enjoy your Saturday, enjoy what's left of your Friday, and then we'll start gearing up for that next rainmaker as we head into the end of the weekend.
I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. A woman was shot in the face after what San Antonio police are calling a drive-by shooting. Vanessa Croy has exclusive surveillance video.
A neighbor here told me they heard at least 8 gunshots, and you can see where some of those bullets hit this house, sending one woman to the hospital after police say she was hit in the face. A rapid burst of gunfire shaking up this neighborhood north of downtown. A neighbor who wants to remain anonymous shared this video capturing the sound of the gunfire. Aimed at this house off the corner of West Russell Place and Aganeer Avenue. Police say a 29-year-old woman was hit in the face. She was rushed to the hospital and expected to survive her injuries. Another man was also inside but wasn't hurt. Detectives combed the scene, searching for shell casings and any other evidence that would lead them to the shooter. As for who that is, right now, police don't know. Surveillance video captured this SUV speeding away seconds after the shooting. Investigators haven't confirmed if this is the suspect vehicle they're looking for. They could only tell us the shooter took off in a brown-colored SUV. And tonight, another mystery detectives have to solve. What was the motive? The man and woman living in the home reportedly told officers they don't know why anyone would do this. Police here on the scene tell us they don't have any solid leads on who these suspects might be. They could only tell us it was a brown or darker colored SUV they're looking for right now. If you know anything about what happened out here today, call San Antonio Police. Reporting near downtown, Vanessa Croy, KENS 5.
When a social media post encouraged people to take to the streets Monday night to protest a weekend law enforcement raid, investigators say one man did more than complain online. 48-year-old George Hernandez is accused of inciting participants to shoot members of the law enforcement community. Sue Kalberg has details on his arrest.
After a Facebook post invited people to come here to San Pedro and Bassi for a peaceful protest, investigators say one man took his ire to the internet and threatened law enforcement with violence.
The charge for George Hernandez is terroristic threats causing fear of serious bodily injury. The affidavit accused Hernandez of taking to the Facebook comments section to encourage people to get all their guns and start shooting at law enforcement. The victims in the complaint are listed as a substantial group of the public because so many people saw the post. The affidavit goes on to allege that numerous people were so concerned about the fear of violence, they reported the comments to police.
Right down the street from here.
Shame! Shame! The protest, which happened Monday evening, went down peacefully. Bond conditions for Hernandez include partial house arrest, random drug and alcohol testing, no guns,
and no use of any social media platform.
Bond for Hernandez is set at $35,000. At last check, he was still detained. His first hearing on the matter isn't until January. Sue Kalberg, KENS 5.
Police say a woman who was kidnapped this week has been found alive, and the suspect is now behind bars. The San Antonio SWAT team raided a Motel 6 overnight Wednesday and were able to take the suspect into custody. He's identified as 35-year-old Jeffrey Garcia. He allegedly kidnapped 27-year-old Destiny Furden Wednesday morning near downtown. Garcia now faces kidnapping and assault charges. The victim was taken to the hospital to be treated for injuries. Lung cancer is the deadliest cancer in Texas and claims more lives than colon, breast, and prostate cancers combined. But as Jeremy Baker reports, robotic surgery is allowing surgeons to detect cancer in a new way.
This is the Ion robotic-assisted lung biopsy device. It's about the size of a phone charging cable, and it navigates the narrow pathways of the lungs where inconspicuous and hard-to-reach tumors often form. Its goal, to detect lung cancer with ease and also to catch it early.
We found out he had lung cancer, but it was already stage 4.
Irene Holden is talking about her father, who passed away from lung cancer in 2019.
I think it's amazing. I think it's going to help a lot of people. It could have helped my dad if it had been invented sooner.
If we're able to find nodules smaller, find them sooner, and then biopsy them in a smaller size, then we're able to diagnose cancer at an earlier stage, and we can bring the mortality rate down for this cancer.
This screen gives the surgeon two views. This one, where the device maps the lung of the patient and provides a target showing where to move, and the one on the opposite side, an actual view of the patient inside the body during surgery.
If we're able to biopsy a small nodule and determine it's cancer, then you'll be referred to an oncologist or a surgeon to remove it completely.
The surgeon operates the controls down there, and the trackball may remind you of the classic video game Centipede, but this is no video game.
It's incredible technology that we have access to help our patients and to help our patients do better in the long run.
To learn more about the Ion robotic-assisted lung biopsy device and how to get screened for lung cancer with the Baptist Health System, just head to this story on KENS5.com. From the city's north side, Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
The next generation spacesuit just cleared a major milestone in San Antonio, bringing NASA one step closer to returning astronauts to the moon. Two companies, KBR and Axiom, completed the first uncrewed thermal vacuum test of the spacesuit. The tests were done inside KBR's Aerospace Environment Protection Lab. The facility simulates the extreme temperatures and vacuum of space, and it has a long history. Apollo astronauts trained there before their moon landings. Well, 70 students from 44 San Antonio ISD campuses are competing in the district's annual Spanish Spelling Bee. There are 3 age groups. Thursday's round featured 9th through 12th graders. The district says the event honors the Spanish language and helps students build proficiency, confidence, and cultural pride.
Make sure that our students that speak Spanish, they have the opportunity to participate in these types of events to make sure that they honor their first language and that they feel like they're doing something different also for in the community. And San Antonio is a Spanish-speaking city, and we have a lot of Latinos, and so I think it's something important for their students to not forget that first language, their native language.
The first place winner from each level will advance to the Region 20 Spanish Spelling Bee in February. And that's the news in San Antonio.
I'm Mike Gillespie, and here's a look at some of what's making news in South Texas. The Alice International Airport may not see commercial jets at the gate, but it's still driving real economic value in our part of the state. Aviation leaders are taking a fresh look at what general aviation means for communities like Alice. For small airfields, TxDOT controls all federal aviation funding, and while it's not a busy terminal, the airport still plays a big role. Navy pilots use the runway for touch-and-go training. Private planes and jets roll in every hunting season, and the Texas A&M Forest Service stages firefighting aircraft right here, ready to launch at the next wildfire.
As the economy increases here, hopefully we'll get some demand for additional hangars or even some, storage space for somebody that wants to do any shipping in and out. There's potential for our airport.
Now, the Humble Airport operates on a roughly $300,000 annual budget with just one full-time maintenance employee and a part-time manager to keep things moving. Baffin Bay has struggled with pollution for years, but a local biotech major is taking a new approach. Natalia Osuna spoke with the student who just earned national recognition for research using water samples right here in the Lone Star State.
A coastal Bend native that grew up fishing with her family at Baffin Bay.
When they come directly from the water, they have all sorts of bacteria and microbes and cell debris in them.
Kristen Waddell is a biotechnology major at Del Mar College with her eye on water quality in South Texas.
There currently isn't a proxy to understand water quality. We use bacteria like E. coli and enterococci, but there isn't a proxy to evaluate antibiotic resistant markers or anything like that, and this gene evaluates both at the same time.
She spent over a year partnering with TAMU-CC, using new techniques in the lab to better understand the bay in a different way.
This is amplifying that gene into thousands of copies.
Dr. Daisy Zhang,
it is absolutely very satisfying,
has been guiding Kristen through her research from the start.
To get to the point that you can actually see your students successful and transform from the high school graduates, right? And then within a year or two into this junior scientist.
Saying the technology she's using is so innovative, it won her national distinction at a conference in DC.
If that technology also gets published, standardized, the water quality control can become very easy. Instead of running a lot of repeatable experiment, you can just do a quick sampling and then get a lot of data in a very short amount of time.
Dr. Zhang says the impact goes beyond the lab.
They're not just the learning technique, they are really contribute to the scientific community as well as local.
And for Kristen, her research could help those same waters she grew up fishing in.
It's really important to know how safe the water is to get into because people are in it every single day. And I like being close to home and know that the people in the community are well aware of what's going on in their area.
Now, another Del Mar College researcher is also getting national attention, this time for work that could change how poisonous snake bites are treated. Her project focuses on new alternative ways to treat venomous snake bites, especially for patients who are allergic to today's standard antivenom. That gap in care is what pushed her to take on this research.
When I was presenting my poster who had been bit by a snake, and he said he was in the hospital for 4 days because the side effects of the antivenom were so bad. So then that made me want to keep doing my research so that I can figure out a better way to treat something like that.
Yeah, an important study in the Lone Star State where many residents are no stranger to a rattlesnake. Hey, from Corpus Christi, that's a quick look at some of what's making news in South Texas.
Here are headlines from Southeast Texas. I'm Mark Armstrong. We're following chilling new details in the murder of Joshua Larkin. The Newton County father of 4 disappeared 3 years ago this week on a hunting trip. Now, these 4 men, they've been arrested in his murder, and now new court documents are providing a chilling account of what led to his death. Reporter Spencer Plato has the details.
I'll never have closure, but I need the answers.
A heartbroken mother, one step closer to answers 3 years after her son went missing. Joshua Larkin left for a hunting trip back in November of 2022 and never returned.
Investigators were quickly able to determine that foul play was suspected.
Sheriff Colton Havard says Joshua was murdered. These 4 men were charged in his death: Justin James, Jonathan Cody Beerhalter, James Alex Jones, and Ronnie Blankenship. New court documents obtained by 12 News allege Larkin was lured to his death. According to those documents, Beerhalter got into an argument with Larkin the day before he was killed, telling Justin James that he wanted Larkin dead due to the fact that he thought Larkin was molesting his daughter. It's an unsubstantiated claim that Larkin denied at the time. In an arrest affidavit, Justin James claims that Beerhalter asked him to invite Larkin to go hunting and that Beerhalter had plans for him.
We started calling the hospitals and the jails. That's the first thing you do, and no one had seen him.
James further alleges that Beerhalter appeared and pointed a gun at Larkin. James told investigators he talked Cody out of shooting him, but that he held a gun to his head, saying, "You are right. I am not going to shoot him. You are, or I will kill both of you." After shooting, James says Beerhalter drove up in a van with his brother, James Alex Jones, inside. The documents go on to say James and Beerhalter loaded Larkin's body inside, and the two brothers drove away. That's when the searching began.
A search has yielded no positive results. We're searching for anything to further our investigation, whether it be a murder weapon, human remains, anything to help us in our investigation.
LT, we struck out, bud.
A search that still continues.
We're still going to work very, very diligently to locate Josh. We're not going to stop. We're just as committed today as we were 11 months ago, and we're going to stay committed to try to get Josh home to his mama.
For a man still deeply loved by his family.
You couldn't meet a better person. I mean, heart as big as the world, beautiful smile. You never met a stranger.
In Beaumont, Spencer Plato, 12 News.
And Sheriff Colton Havard is urging anyone with more information to come forward. To Orange County now, where a man had to be rescued after falling into a hole. According to Orange County ESD3 Chief Matt Manshak, he fell into that hole while driving a go-kart. Neighbors say that road has been closed for a drainage repair for a few weeks now. That man had leg injuries, but he is in stable condition. DPS is investigating. And the city of Orange, where the council approved 2 new camping ordinances. The first tightens the rules on camping on public property. It bans camping on any public land unless the person has permission from the agency that owns the land. The second focuses on private property. It limits camping to backyards only and puts a 72-hour cap on how long someone can stay there. Officials say that these changes give the city clear authority to tell people to leave if they are camping on public land without permission. Beaumont ISD says that they are keeping the 10 Commandment posters up in classrooms after a federal judge ordered several Texas school districts to remove them. The district saying that ruling doesn't apply to them. The district wasn't named in the lawsuit, and leaders say that they're already in full compliance with state law that requires the commandments to be posted if donated. Beaumont ISD leaders say that the issue is set by state lawmakers and it's not a personal preference at the district level.
We are always going to be monitoring for any legislation or laws that we should be in compliance with and making the necessary adjustments to make sure that we are fulfilling those obligations. And currently that responsibility is to make sure all campuses are displaying that.
Shiloh Platts, who is running for Jefferson County Republican Party chair, has donated hundreds of posters to Beaumont ISD, and in a statement, he said Republicans are united in passing this law, and he's confident it's going to stand in courts. And meanwhile, the Lamar Institute of Technology is celebrating another record-breaking semester. The school says that it's enrolled nearly 6,500 students this fall, the largest number in its history. President Sid Valentine says that the jump is because of the college's focus on career training, matching the needs of Southeast Texas employers. And those were the headlines for Southeast Texas.
In Austin, I'm Quita Culpepper. A former Austin ISD teacher is now facing criminal charges for possession of child pornography and improper relationship between an educator and student. The district sent a letter to families about Jonathan Mark's arrest. Williamson County jail records show he was arrested last week. School district officials say he taught at Bedichek and Gorzicki Middle Schools from 2020 through 2024 as a special education inclusion teacher. Austin ISD police are investigating whether any misconduct happened on campus. 2 Texas chapters for the Council on American Islamic Relations have filed a lawsuit against Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton. This week, the governor designated the group a foreign terrorist organization, banning it from owning land in Texas. Daniel Perot has more.
An escalating battle between the state of Texas and one of the largest Muslim civil rights groups in America, the Council on American Islamic Relations. In a federal lawsuit, CAIR is asking the court to block Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation designating it as a terrorist organization.
These attacks on CAIR and on the American Muslim community and on Texas Muslims pose not only a threat to our community, but to all Americans.
That designation means the group can't own land in Texas. CARE argues the governor's proclamation is baseless, unlawful, and an attempt to punish political speech.
It's not a coincidence that CARE was targeted. They've been a real thorn inside, standing up for what are clear free speech rights.
The lawsuit comes just hours after the governor doubled down, directing the Texas Department of Public Safety to investigate CARE and the Muslim Brotherhood for alleged criminal activities. He has called CARE a front group for Hamas and a direct subsidiary of the Muslim Brotherhood, saying the group was an unnamed co-conspirator in a 2009 terrorism financing case, accusing the organization of employing and supporting individuals who promote terrorism-related activities.
When one looks at the allegations in part, are years and years old. They don't actually, many of them are untrue. The few of them that have some factual basis establish nothing.
Earlier this year, Abbott signed a bill that bans property developments that he calls Sharia compounds. That bill targeted Epic City, a planned Muslim-centric development in Collin County.
The ban on Sharia law in Texas is now strengthened.
Abbott says the groups are unlawfully imposing Sharia law, which violates the Texas Constitution. Sharia law lays out the moral and behavioral principles that Muslims should follow, things like prayer, fasting, and generosity to the poor. It does include mentions of punishment, but many Muslim countries do not apply Sharia to criminal law. CARE says no one is imposing Islamic law on Americans.
Those rules have no application whatsoever in America, obviously. Just like the rules of the Bible that relate to what a government would do have no application in America.
And that was Daniel Perot reporting. CARE is asking the court to block the state from enforcing the proclamation while further legal challenges play out. The governor's office has not commented on this new lawsuit. A new contract for Austin firefighters is up in the air. City leaders paused the process and asked the Austin Firefighters Association to return to the bargaining table to address some concerns, specifically if the union plans to launch a campaign to initiate a ballot item on staffing each fire engine with at least 4 firefighters. City leaders said council will not vote on the contract until they receive a formal response from the AFA. The 4-year deal is worth nearly $63 million and includes pay raises for firefighters. With more autonomous vehicles driving around Austin, first responders want to make sure those cars aren't creating safety problems on our roads. But with state law preventing local governments from regulating AVs, local leaders formed a special group to work with AV companies on safety. Malia Masamoto shows us how that group is helping this evolving technology integrate into daily life in Austin.
There's no hesitation for Spin Rodriguez. He'll gladly hop in a car with no one in the driver's seat.
Heading to Central Market.
You know, I've taken so many Ubers in my life. I noticed immediately that it felt like the most cautious driver ever.
He's been one of the brave early adopters of the technology in Austin.
It's just so much more aware of its surroundings than you are, even if you think you're paying attention.
Back in 2017, autonomous vehicle companies started testing in Austin. But that same year, Texas lawmakers passed Senate Bill 2205, restricting local entities from regulating AVs, leaving it up to the state to decide the rules.
Frankly, this is the Wild West when it comes to autonomous vehicles. There is a lot of leeway that they have, and enforcement is very limited on our end.
Austin Fire Captain Matt McIlerney is a part of the AV working safety group that came together 2 years ago. That was around the time AV company Cruise from General Motors stopped all operations across the country after several safety issues.
There was quite a significant amount of incidents with Cruise that help populate that dashboard or help push that dashboard into existence.
That's when the city started tracking AV incidents. In the year after Cruise left Austin, incidents fell by more than half, from 54 in 2023 to just 21 in 2024. But in 2025, it's gone back up now to more than 80 as more driverless cars continue to hit the streets.
I had heard so much about autonomous driving and how they had been testing it in other cities and facilities that I was just excited to see what that would be like.
Waymo from Alphabet, the parent company of Google, launched through Uber at the start of this year, and Tesla put out their robotaxis in June. 3 other companies are now in the testing phase. This year, the largest category of incidents is safety concerns. That includes AV's understanding of police manually directing traffic.
Yes, they can detect a person, but sometimes hand and arm signals, if they're not demonstrative or the vehicle doesn't pick up on them, it can be problematic for APD to direct those AV.
Waymo wouldn't interview for this story, but says they're always looking for ways to improve. Every month, the AV Safety Working Group meets to talk through these issues and receive training from AV companies. Waymo says it has already trained more than 20,000 first responders through their first responder program.
If we need to move the vehicle out of a main thoroughfare, we need to know how to manually override the vehicle, or if we have somebody that's possibly unconscious in the vehicle, we need to know how to open the vehicle up.
McIlerney said for the most part, the companies have been receptive to the collaboration.
Where we've met some obstacles and some hurdles is addressing incidents. They're not very willing to share video with us on exactly what the incident was, and that's very hard for us to piece together the exact nature of the problem.
Waymo said they won't provide data without a valid legal request, which McIlerney said they don't always have the time to get for every incident they investigate. So before the roads get more crowded with new AVs in the next few years, first responders are hoping for some changes from lawmakers.
And we're hoping on a federal level that we can get more strength to enforce some of the things that we want to do.
But they're not cautioning people against using AVs, as long as it's done safely, which is what Rodriguez thinks the future with all AVs would look like.
I think that if you got in one and you just rode in it one time, you'd probably see how much more efficient it is.
You're here. Please make sure it's clear before exiting.
In Austin, Malia Masamoto, KVUE News.
And those are the headlines happening in Austin. I'm Quita Culpepper.
Hi, I'm Brennan Gurley, and here's what's making headlines across East Texas. Thursday is recognized as National Rural Health Day, honoring the dedication and resilience of rural health professionals, organizations across communities nationwide. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza shows us what East Texas is doing to ensure families are covered throughout the Piney Woods.
East Texas is a patchwork of cities, towns, and rural pockets. Tyler and Longview serve as major medical hubs, but venture just a little further into the Piney Woods, and access to care can quickly disappear.
It doesn't take getting too far out from those major population centers where we start to see a real limit to the number of physicians, the number of nurses, to the number of urgent care, to the numbers of medical facilities to treat patients.
Paula Anthony is the Chief Strategy Officer for UT Health East Texas. She says the shortage can have real consequences. And Northeast Texas has some of the highest rates of chronic disease, heart disease, cancer, and stroke in the state.
The real issue is that it's not just that it's inconvenient, and the financial issues are very serious, but it has a real consequence to health.
To address the challenge, UT Health and Christus are focused on retaining local students, training them in East Texas, and retaining them to serve rural communities.
We want to recruit the best. We want to partner with all the institutions to make sure we have access to the best. We want to get them here, and we want to keep them here.
Programs at UT Health and Christus help students train in local hospitals and clinics, hoping they build their careers right here.
5 years ago, we had 30 residents that were training in East Texas hospitals and clinics. Today, 230, with a plan to grow to 330 plus.
But access isn't just about doctors, it's about facilities. SVP of Christus, Chris Glennie, says they've invested nearly $1 billion to build facilities in these rural pockets, including hospitals, emergency clinics, and micro hospitals to bring care closer to home.
You know, we want people to stay in Northeast Texas for care. Frankly, we want people to stay in their communities for care. And so we really want to invest in these more rural communities to make sure that they have the care that they need.
Telehealth and virtual care also play a growing role, connecting patients in small towns to specialists without the long drive.
Okay, but I'd say within the next 5 years, more and more care will be offered virtually, and more patients will take that as an opportunity to seek care where travel becomes difficult.
By investing in people, facilities, and technology, East Texas hospitals hope to make healthcare accessible close to home, as it should be. Reporting in Tyler, Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
This Thanksgiving, a group of East Texas dancers will trade their hometown for one of the world's biggest stages. 11 members of Star Maker Studio from Overton are heading to New York to perform in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity they've been preparing for all year. For these students, it's both exciting and nerve-wracking. From learning brand new routines to practicing hours each day, they're ready to take on a crowd of millions. And it's not just about the performance. They'll be representing their small town on a national stage, making memories they'll carry for a lifetime.
It's my senior year, and these group of girls are like a family to me, and getting to experience this with them and staying with them for a whole week, it is going to be definitely something to remember.
It feels like a movie, like New York itself, like it doesn't feel real. It felt cool to even tell people like, yeah, I'm gonna be in the Macy's Day Parade.
The team's teacher, Tammy Hale, says this will be their third trip to the parade, and she couldn't be prouder. After that parade, the group will even share their own Thanksgiving meal in Little Italy, keeping that sense of family alive, even in the Big Apple. And that's a wrap of your East Texas headlines. I'm Brennan Gurley.
I'm Lindsay Littman. Here are your headlines from Central Texas. Fort Hood could soon be the home of a new nuclear power plant. The Army named Fort Hood as one of 9 candidates for the construction of a nuclear microreactor plant. It's part of the Army's Janus program, which aims to build nuclear plants that can aid with military operations. The decision on if the plant will actually be built is yet to be finalized. If approved, it would be constructed in phases with a goal of completing the plant as quickly as possible. Starting next year, Marlin residents will see higher water bills as the city works to fix its troubled water system. There's been a lot of pushback, though, from residents, as city leaders previously missed out on government funding that could have helped fix the problem without increasing the bill. Our Adriana Alexander explains.
They be mad and flying. They ain't gonna do nothing.
Starting in January 2026, Marlin residents will see their water bill go up by at least an extra $20 a month. The city says the increase will help them invest in improvements to the water quality across Marlin.
I think they could explain a little better about why and where all the money's going.
Since 2019, the city of Marlin has received around $13 million in state funding, with more than $6 million of that going to water system improvements. But Marlin Mayor Susan Bird said in a February statement that the money went towards paying workers involved in city water projects.
People here don't need to be paying for water you can't even drink. That's terrible.
Then the city missed out on submitting an application to receive funding for water infrastructure under Proposition 6 earlier this year. We reached out to the Texas Water Development Board to learn if Marlin ever applied for the funding, but we have not heard back. Residents have no choice but to pay up.
Oh no, I ain't gonna pay down that money. You can't drink, you can't take a bath with it. We gonna pay more money. If that water gonna go anyway, we're gonna pay more money. You can't do nothing with it.
The hope is that the poor water quality, boil water notices, major leaks, statewide disasters, and low water pressure issues stop.
It's definitely an inconvenience. I mean, I'm blessed with my situation, but not everybody not everybody in Marlin is. So yeah, it's interesting.
Well, we reached out to city officials to ask some of the many questions that residents have about the increase. They did not respond. Meantime, Baylor announced that athletic director Mack Rhoades will step away from his position effective immediately. Rhoades took a leave of absence last week for personal reasons and also stepped down from his position on the College Football Playoff Committee. Baylor also did not say the reason for his leave other than saying it was for personal reasons. Rhoades said last week that it was his idea to take the leave of absence. He's been the AD at Baylor since 2016. What may seem like a simple pair of shoes to some is making a big difference. Central Texans donated hundreds of shoes, and that's why our communities in schools for our annual Shoes for Kids shoe drive, and all day Central Texans dropped off donations to help kids start their education off on the right foot.
For many students, something as basic as a pair of properly fitting shoes can be the difference between focusing in class and falling behind.
This really makes an impact to me because I know how hard it is for a student to not have the proper shoes, especially with winter coming. We see kids coming in, flip-flops or shoes that just don't fit. And I work with the students that they just struggle. And sometimes they don't know how to say they need shoes. It is embarrassing to say I need shoes. So if we have it in our school already, it's not a, hey, do you have this I can have? They see it and they say, I really could use those. Or a site coordinator can say, hey, you know what? This is a shoe. Looks like, you need some new shoes. Hey, I have this for you.
Organizers say the turnout was overwhelming with shoes of every size coming in from across the area.
if you have extra shoes that you are not using or your kids have grown out of, we would love all donations. It can be lightly used, it can be new. So we serve all the way from 3-year-olds up to 24-year-olds. So we need a whole wide variety of shoes. Closed-toe shoes for our school-aged kids is always best.
6 News viewers told us donating was simply the right thing to do.
I, many years ago, was in the same situation and people donated to me, and I always give back because giving back is the right thing to do.
I heard about it on your channel news there, seeing it for the past week or so, and I had them sitting in the closet not being used, so I brought them in. Not only for the comfort of wearing them, having, just being in public with other kids, they need to have good shoes.
Communities and schools of the greater Central Texas area supports dozens of school districts, helping thousands of at-risk students stay in school and thrive. And they say every pair of shoes truly matters.
And at just our Killeen location at Carlson Law Firm, over 500 pairs of shoes were donated. So thank you to everyone that gave. Those are your headlines from Central Texas.